This video is about using the quadratic formula to solve a quadratic equation. When we want to use the quadratic formula, we really want to understand what is the a, the b, and the c. So let's write it down. And I am really imploring everyone, use those parentheses, whether the numbers are positive or whether they are negative. Use the parentheses. Quadratic formula, negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac. All over, that means the entire numerator is going to be divided by 2a. And now we're ready to substitute in the values for a, b, and c. Negative 10 plus or minus the square root of negative 10 squared. So you see that I'm very consistent with my parentheses. Minus 4 times 5 times a negative 3. And as I said earlier, this entire numerator is divided by 2 times 5. Let's evaluate. A negative times a negative is a positive 10. And in order to evaluate this discriminant, remember, you need to evaluate the discriminant, or the radicand, the number underneath the radical, completely, before we can do anything else. So that gives me negative 10 squared is 100, and negative times a negative means I have to add 4 times 5 times 3 is 60. So in other words, my numerator is going to be 10 plus or minus the square root of 160. And this entire numerator is going to be divided by 10. At this point, use the fact and use your understanding that each term in the numerator is divided by that same denominator. So I'm going to rewrite this as 10 divided by 10 plus or minus. And I'm going to look at my radical. It's a square root. In order to simplify square roots, remember we look for the biggest squares. And I see that I can divide 160 by 16. And actually it's 160 is 16 times 10. And this numerator is also going to be divided by that same 10. Now watch out, I see you guys divide this 10 into that 10, but this is not 10. Place it in your calculator. The square root of 10 is not going to give you more than about 3.1. Are you going to be able to divide 3.1 by 10 and just cancel that out? Absolutely not. That's why leave your hands off a square root of 10. You cannot divide a square root of 10 by, which is an irrational number, by the rational number of 10. Careful. Let's simplify this. Placing my paper up a little bit. Therefore 10 divided by 10, well, for now maybe let's just leave it like that. Let's evaluate or simplify the square root of 16, which is clearly 4 square root of 10 divided by 10. Now these are two rational numbers I can divide into each other. So therefore we get 1. 10 divided by 10 is 1. Plus or minus, I can have two even numbers. I can divide even numbers by 2. I get 2 square root of 10. 10 divided by 2 is 5. So my two solutions are 1 plus 2 square root of 10 divided by 5. 1 minus 2 square root of 10 divided by 5. And these are my two irrational solutions. Two real irrational solutions.